Already.
Pop. Pop, pop. Pop. Pop, pop. Pop. Pop, pop. Pop. Pop.
Hello and welcome to Misfits and Monsters. I am your friendly neighbourhood dungeon master Aaron, and I've got a cut on my nose. If you're wondering what this thing is, what's watching as this is moving around, I smashed my face on a window in the back of a truck trying to put my dog into a harness.
It sounds like a very
that is not a euphemism.
over-explode.
Yeah. That's not a euphemism.
I wasn't doing anything suspicious or.
What are you doing with your dog?
That sounds like a made-up story. He's definitely up to something.
No, no.
Yep.
Anyway,
no one puts my dog in a harness.
We have almost a full complement of Misfits today, except for one, our Octobard, played by Mike. But everybody else is here, so much excitement will ensue, hopefully. So yeah, being as he's got a brand new face thing, let's have our half-orc, all super monk, Sith, give us some real deal business. Encouraging words.
Pressure much? Jeez. Okay. All right. I didn't actually think of anything clever to say this week because I'm super fucking tired. But I play Sith, half monk, half orc, all greedy bastard.
All greedy bastard.
Punching machine. Punching and kicking machine. Let's go. I am like Steven Seagal. If
he actually knew martial arts.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean is I washed out nobody.
What are you talking about? He's chief of police.
Yes. No. Is he?
No.
I think he's like Chuck Norris, but significantly less racist. One should hope.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, but anyway, let's not say anything that might get us in a courtroom somewhere. Allegedly. So following on from Pat's allegations, let's move on
You don't even remember my name.
to Mike, who is recently hairless in character.
Indeed.
Yeah,
He's been recently hairless in life for a while now. I'm sorry.
Shave it off.
Commitment knows no bounds.
So, yes, I'll be playing Ezra today, for which I have a short introduction. Ezra peers out from behind a low-hanging cow, covering his once magnificent visage, for it was in mighty battle that he did single-handedly defeat an ancient black dragon, saving the city, but at terrible cost. Can the mighty hero recover from this most ruinous fate? Boldness.
No!
And for those of you just joining today...
Oh God, look at it!
I have role-played my character. That's the dedication I've gone to. I've lost all my hair just to play my character. For those of you that have watched last week and every week prior to that, you know that's bullshit.
Played a long game. Oh
Yeah.
dear. Who's next?
confirmed by the looks of shock and sympathy on all of our faces. Anyway, so onto our resident tiefling, Kat. Tell us about demonic peoples.
Demonic people. I mean,
You're very quiet.
is that better?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, I moved it away because I was still numbing my dinner. And I know how much you guys enjoy listen to me eat.
sure
So
it's a fetish out
I
there
am
somewhere.
playing our tiefling battle mage Kayla. She has an affinity for fire. She likes whips. She likes chain whips. She needs to attune to her chain whip still. And yeah, that's her. Usual hijinks, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. Finally, Pat, you're up.
Who?
Brace
Nope.
yourself. Sorry, Has even. You're up. I can't do.
Pat,
Name's
Pat,
I can't
Pat,
do today. I'm sorry.
Mike, they're all the same.
He's got a head wound.
You're all the same way.
Somebody else should DM.
Yeah, all take 20 damage.
Hello. Hello, I'm Haz. I play
Who's typing
Brambleberry.
really loudly?
Thing.
Hang on. Stop. Who is thunderously hammering keys? Who is doing that?
It's not I.
Michael Patrick.
Stop it!
It's really
Or
loud, isn't
mute
it?
if you're going to do that.
Someone's typing out an essay.
Yeah. Okay, please, Has, continue.
Yeah, cool. Yep, hello, I'm Haz. I play Brambleberry, a straw-thin, sickle-grin, not-so-thick-skin, rather peculiar inquisitor. Criminals and kingpins, gang lords and tax-evading orc grannies beware.
Oh.
All right, cool. All good. None of that was informative to anybody that's just watched, so...
Oh yeah, it's never informative, that's the great part.
We do that. We just do this for our own benefit.
For anyone who is watching,
Kat, you didn't say your cool line.
Oh, I can. I just feel like I overuse. I also need to write a few variants on it. I can say it now, but it'll be totally out of space.
Nah.
We'll move on. Okay, brief recap. Last session, you finally attended the meal that your informant, the halfling called Copper Kettle, had arranged with the gnome diplomat that you are suspicious of being up to evil doings, at the Unicorn's Horn, and the gnome diplomat's name is Unvira Umtrau. So you What is this noise? Windows update. I'm not using Windows. Stop it.
okay, I have a feeling that my new camera is not noise cancelling.
Why don't you use the push to talk in Discord?
I don't like doing that because I always forget.
Well, when we just ignore you, then
That is
you'll
a-
know you're not pushing the
Good
button.
reason.
I usually just.
Well, I'm going to change. I'm just going to fuck around with the inputs, and you guys carry on.
Okay. So rather than being stuffy and sinister like you suspected, or that they might be, they were revealed to be quite a jolly, affable individual that you had a pleasant and fun conversation with about their business.
She was charming.
Yeah, and you, as far as you can tell, you felt that she was above the board and on the level, dealing in rare art objects and historical and cultural artifacts. So if she is somehow responsible for the importing of these figurines that contain the I don't know what to describe it, creatures that are apparently going to become a threat to the city and destroy it.
It's like a weird version of Pokemon.
Yeah. She, believe, is unaware of the fact that she's contributed towards this this plot. So
That doesn't help us.
No. Anything else that Sif needs?
Yeah, there was a few other notes I made. So before we met Umvira, we met a hooded figure who's in beige. Like his skin color was beige, to the point of looking like cardboard apparently.
Oh yeah.
Told us to pass on a message onto Cole. Activities have increased for goods being imported by reputable aristocracy, is what the message said. The last batch were bought in by Umtral, and Xantar's guild might know we're onto something, is what he said. And the people that brought it in were part of the network that Cole is also part of.
So the Black Network is the Zentarim. It's another name for the Black Network. But he also revealed to you that there's a schism, which you were told previously by other members of the Zentarim that you met inside that Colossus that were like heavily wounded and almost dead, having been trapped inside the Colossus on a mission to try and activate it before the abyssal creatures that were attempting to capture it could do so, but they failed. Then you guys succeeded in their place and you rescued those Zentarim. But those Zentarim, as well as this informant of Cole's, has confirmed to you that the Black Network is divided, and some of these agents represent the interests of a different faction within the Black Network that they don't share. So they're like a more extreme splinter faction of the Black Network that they suspect have some involvement in this plot to smuggle in these creatures contained within these magical ornaments to then use them to attack the city.
I think we should destroy the Zentarim.
Good luck. So, is there anything else that?
Yeah, I've got a few other notes. So Umtral was visiting the city for a month, constantly moving around. Umtral's family are all archaeologists, basically grave robbers. She said every civilian falls for their own hubris, but greater things rise from the ashes. She was very cryptic, if I remember correctly. She was very spooky with her end of worlds talk, is what we noticed last week. And the problem with theft, she said one of the items went missing, which will happen to be possibly the item that Kayla currently has. Her organization is the Historical Preservation Society, HPS, and they own all the objects or all the little pieces. And what else?
They have a load of patrons all around the world.
And she has records of the items that were stolen, and I think Bog, was it Bog?
Yeah, she's gonna show us in the morning. She said
he's got a date with her, basically.
Oh.
I know, right?
Oh, I missed out on all the tea.
Yeah.
Oh, girl.
Skinship.
So yeah, during the course of that meal, there were a few things that you asked if she could furnish you with to help in your investigations on behalf of Mert, who's a member of the Lords of Waterdeep and the Harpers. He's told you all of that before. And that's another thing that Zentarim agent said to you to deliver to Cole, because you asked Cole to ask his contacts within the Black Network if they could confirm or deny any of the things that you've been suspecting is going on to do with this supposed threat that's going to happen to the city. And he said that I've just lost my train of thought then. What did you just say? So he's going to furnish you with information. What was the...
Oh, and you're going to meet up.
I'm going to meet with him.
He said that the threat to their networks consolidarity is so severe that they are contemplating forming an alliance with the Harpers and other in the Lord's Alliance in an effort to try and fight against this faction within the Black Network that are more extreme and plotting to destroy.
So that's quite a big deal then, because they're butting heads in a while.
But she said she'd give you a list of the missing artifacts. What else was there? List of missing artifacts. What else? Did you make a note of it at all?
1,000 gold.
No.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I think that was it. It was only the list of missing artifacts.
Oh, and who patron might be in the city, but
Yeah.
because I was asking about maybe being one of them.
The location.
Patrons of her her exhibit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did we ask her where the exhibit was?
You did, and she said that she could give you the information tomorrow because it's
Okay.
going to be at various different locations spread around the city.
So we're just holding out for that, basically.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's pretty much
Oh,
what.
and at the end of it, Cray went up to her to show her his Khan statue to see if she could recognise it. And when I went to reach into my bag of
I
holding,
wasn't there.
it was gone.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that was it.
your ivory figurine in the likeness of like a multi-headed skeleton that contains that
Yeah.
bone construct Khan, that giant bone
Khan!
construct that you use to aid you in fights and things previously. is now
Destroying
missing.
churches, so on and so forth.
Yeah. Inadvertently murdering priests of Shauntia.
You gotta break
Oops.
a few churches to make.
Some eggs.
So yeah, that's now missing, and you don't know how or why that is missing.
Did we check whether the boat was missing? Can we ask?
You haven't checked, but you can now. I'm going to just put some mystery music on.
Kayla, I know you
What?
weren't. I'm glad you've turned up, but you weren't feeling well last.
Sorry, I had a bad
Curry.
yeah.
You should avoid that place.
I just needed.
That's the hot
I just
sauce.
couldn't go too far from too much hot sauce.
Gross.
I couldn't I won't go into detail.
Have you got the ship? The little.
Yes, I believe I do. I should do. I don't believe it got destroyed. That would be sad.
Does she have the?
She
Do I
does
have the
still
ship?
have the
Make a
ship.
check.
Oh.
So the miniature form of your galleon that you can use to enlarge to create a full-sized ship to travel upon water with is still in Kayla's possession.
What about the horse?
What? Oh,
She has.
I have a
Kayla's got
little. I have
horse.
a. It's a.
She has
We fixed the horse, didn't we?
you fixed the leg. Yeah, you put a white statue of a horse's leg on the black the obsidian horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's now.
It summons a shadow bar.
And it summons a shadow bar.
okay, so we could
But
try
that
and.
is also missing.
Oh, that's missing.
Mhm.
Ah,
Oh, that's weird. My pumpkin's gone.
Guys, we have literally one
Pumpkin!
fucking job not to lose these things, and we've lost 2 of them.
it was right there.
I don't want to talk to you right now.
So, are you guys? I'm assuming you're all still in the unicorn's horn at this.
Yeah,
table.
she's
just
gone off,
to
but
bed.
we're
We're and Bramble was following them.
Oh, he's invisible.
Yeah, are you still
I'm invisible.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow them.
So, anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Do we even know Bramble's following her?
Probably not.
No.
But let's say that Sif is at the table with Cray and Groggett. So
I'll just say to Bramble, or where Bramble used to be, it's okay, you can come out of hiding now. Are you there? Hello?
So Sif,
gone.
Cray, Groggett, seeing the gnome diplomat leave the curtained off and reserved dining hall and retire to her room, the curtain is left open and you can see the rest of your companions still seated at that long table, so you're free to go and join them now if you want to.
I was the only one that went forward originally, so yeah.
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 Well, what do you do, gang? I feel like I've been here, but I haven't been in the room mentally for 2 weeks.
It's like you've been sleepwalking through life.
You need to sort out your priorities.
I nearly got killed by a dragon. You just stood there. What's up with you?
Just watch.
Oh yeah. Was
Did
Sif not
you?
there for that?
I just remember cleaning shit off the street.
I think you were too absorbed
Ezra
in shit. That's
literally
all.
You were
died.
too absorbed in your work.
Yeah, you
It's
it's deep cover, man.
well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't care about you as much as I care about shoveling shit.
All right.
At least he's honest.
It's a life. It's an honest living. All right.
So honest, I don't like
I
it.
thought monks were supposed to be nice.
So obviously, Kayla.
You say it's an honest living, but all the people we've been doing this with have shady
They are
backstories.
none of them are honest.
The shoveling shit part is honest. Everything else, not shoveling shit, can be whatever it wants to be.
You can't compartmentalize like that. You can't take a small part of what you're doing and say that's I'm okay, and then killing children. That's not cool, man.
I feel like,
Shut
hey man,
about me.
what the
I mean, you
fuck?
can't say anything, Roger.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Max, but you can't lecture me about killing children.
Who's Max?
Now, where's that mirror I was using to look at myself? Oh, here you go.
Previous character.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with me.
That's not me.
Well, Kayla is feeling better and knowing where you'll be. She's roused herself, got dressed, and she's now joined you in the Unicorn Horn. So she's present throughout this discussion.
Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
And
Hope you
Barchie's
had a good
there.
day.
Barchie's there in all of his sort of formal
shit, yeah.
regalia, and he says, "I am sorry that I was not more of use during the course of that conversation, but now that the meal is over, unless you need me for something specific, I will take my leave and return to my quarters where I can resume work on our documentation for acquiring the land.
I think that's best.
I also have some things I have prepared as a proposal for the lords when we go to meet them, to talk to them about the issues and threats that the city will be facing soon.
When have you planned to meet the lords?
Well, I have been assured by Mert that as soon as you have completed your 10 days with the Dung Sweepers and collected as much information as you can about the various problems that he wanted you to, that is when we will have the meeting with the Open Lords, probably the next day. So, 2-3 days from now.
Okay. Sounds good, Barchie. We'll see you then, I guess.
Alright, it was a
Barchie,
pleasure.
Thanks for your
my
help.
statue.
Excuse me?
Pleasure.
Have you seen my statue? I must have dropped it.
No, that is bad news indeed.
It
If
looks
you-
like a bone.
I remember.
Yeah.
If these are in fact part of the threat to the city that we have discovered, maybe it has been stolen by somebody
Oh.
in league with these extremists that have splintered off from the Zentarim network. And for a faction to be considered extreme to the Black Network, that is very worrying indeed. They're already fairly extreme as it is.
Where are they?
We shall have to find out.
They're probably in the sewers.
Perhaps we can make use of a temple or a wizard or somebody to locate the object. They often have divination that might be able to do such things.
Oh, good idea.
That is clever stuff. Not really my remit. What about you? You not got anything, Ezra? Can't scry or...
Sadly not. Not something I've had use for. I'm a bit of a carefree type.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably do it if I found some information about it, but I don't have the spells on me.
Perhaps when Kayla and yourself go to meet the Blackstaff after your 10 days are up with the Dung Sweepers, she could assist you with this investigation.
Yeah?
I'm sure she is powerful and learned enough to have learnt that particular spell.
I can't see why not. Sounds good.
Excellent. Well, I will take my leave. As I say, it was a great pleasure to spend time in your company, not having to defend our lives from some monstrous threat or another.
Yeah, I had fun. It was nice.
I'm surprised
very
nothing came
nice.
through a window.
Yeah, we didn't kill anything. Well, not at this point in the night.
I destroyed that chicken.
The night is but young, friends.
Okay, well,
Do not tempt fate.
goodbye. I will speak to you in a few days' time. And he gets up, bows formally, and then glides away. So.
Do we want to do anything else, or do we want to retire for the evening? Oh, we still got Hazard still following the.
Well, unless there's anything else you guys want to discuss, I can shift to Bramble tailing her to her rooms.
Whatever we do, 'cause I mean, I guess Kayla's kind of been off on her own for a bit anyway. Can we say that I've taken the time to attune to the chain whip?
Yes.
I keep meaning to do that.
Yes. You did you read through the document? I sent
Did you send? I think I did. The thing is, I've got like 2 or 3 different ones.
Okay, this will be.
I'll catch up with you after this.
This will be the final thing that I sent you. It was your Craftmas gift from a mysterious, unknown sender, simply listed as F.
Okay.
You-
I'll
you-
double. Okay, right.
F in
We'll hold
chat,
off then.
please.
I'll
F in
double
chat.
check
You
that I've got the
presumed
right
it was.
document.
You presumed it was Flint, but when Flint arrived the next morning, and gave you your actual Craftmas gift from him, he revealed.
Oh, yeah.
He revealed that
But it wasn't.
he had nothing to do with this previous package that was
Yeah.
delivered to you.
Okay, right. I'll hold off on that then. Never mind.
Okay.
I'll check my things.
Anyway, so Bramble.
Oh wait.
Oh,
I'll attune to my horn lamps though.
okay. Now this is the thing.
Nice.
Are your horns as a tiefling? Do they go back or do they come forwards around your?
They
face?
kind of go like back.
They go back.
And
So
sort
this
of
is the
out
thing
to the
that
side.
Flint couldn't remember. So like,
Oh, they point backwards.
yeah. So this
Okay.
ability they have to light up will only illuminate things behind you
You got
now.
back lamps.
Yeah, you got back lamps.
Love it.
Amazing.
You
Okay.
put 'em on the wrong way.
But decoratively
I'll
they
just
look
walk
quite
backwards.
nice. They look that they're finely fashioned jewelry. So anyway,
I'll
Think
just walk
about it.
backwards.
If you run, it'll be like a trail of lights behind you.
like
Yeah.
Akira bikes.
Yeah. Sorted. Okay, sorry.
So-
I'll stop interrupting now.
So Bramble, as you skulk up the stairs behind the gnome, being assisted by the steward that was called Pascal, though that wasn't. He revealed that wasn't really his name, and that was just some affectation that the proprietor gives to all of the staff. He gives them. Oh God, what's the Ferunian equivalent of France? I used to know this stuff. Anyway, doesn't matter. He's got like a faux French accent, and everyone's got faux French names that he gives them, even though it's not their actual names. But he's currently still asleep in the storeroom at the back of the courtyard of the Unicorn's Horn, in the owlbear armchair that you delivered. That's basically wrapped him in an embrace and holding him for like 8 hours or more. So yeah, you go up the stairs after the gnome diplomat, and she's talking like a lot of drunken like nonsense to Pascal. None of it's of any particular interest. It's largely just things like
I've got such a busy day tomorrow. Oh, all the unpacking that must be done, and some things have still got to be put on their plimps, like mounted on the plimps, and it's gonna. I'm glad I've got a lot of strong-backed young men to help me lift these things in and out all the time, and I'm tired. I think I better stop flapping my lips. It's hurting my head.
and Pascal is like, "Yep, very well, madam. Yep, please just keep on your feet. I'll hold you up. You just keep walking to your room." And he takes her down like a number of passages, eventually to her room, opens the door for her, revealing it to be like quite a large, plushly furnished suite, and then helps her into the bed and is like, "If that will be all, madam, I'll leave you to rest now." She's like,
Oh, yeah, thank you for your help.
You prevented me from breaking my neck trying to climb those steep steps. And he's like, very good. Like, well, good night. Rest well. She's like, yes, you have a lovely evening as well. And he's like, oh, blimey. And he turns around, leaves the room, and pulls the door to, and locks it from the outside, and then makes his way back down the corridor, down into the to the lower levels of the establishment. So, Bramble, what are you doing in this?
So I know where the room location is, right?
Yeah.
So one thing like Miss Lee allows you to do is where is this? You can see through I can see through my illusionary double's eyes, and I can talk. I think I can. Yeah. So I was gonna pass on the information of where her room is to the rest of the guys.
Okay.
Around the table, if they wanted to come up and, because she's asleep, because I do not have the courage in myself to try and unlock that door.
Okay, so suddenly Bramble, rouses to attention after having just been very still.
Ah, there you are.
So I'm assuming you make yourself... The double is invisible, not you, or are you invisible as well?
No, I'm invisible. The double isn't.
Okay, so you suddenly manifest then, yeah. Okay, go. What's happening?
Oh yeah, I've located her room. If she's currently asleep, if anyone wants to come up and pry through her things, maybe get some more information.
Oh yeah, this isn't really Bramble, is it? Oh, okay.
Who is it then?
I poke.
Have you just been talking to him for the past 10 minutes?
I'm poking the double. Is it actually a physical thing?
No,
Oh,
the real Bramble is the one in the room with you. The double is the one that followed. Is that right? Am I correct or am I wrong?
No, the real Bramble is the invisible one, the one that followed.
It's the double that's.
Forget about confusing our enemies and other interested parties. We're confusing ourselves.
Yeah, frequently.
Is it a physical being?
This backfired. I'm a pretty stealthy. I'm pretty good on my feet. I can probably stealth through her room, especially seeing as she's quite drunk. You just have to remind me what I'm looking for.
What are we looking for?
I mean, we assumed that she was going to be a bad person, but she seems pretty okay. I mean, do we all agree that she's not really a problem?
We could sneak in and put a chocolate.
But if she's being used by another party, she may have a correspondence that might indicate who might have arranged her visit. That may be exploiting that situation.
I agree with Ezra, and I also think that we've only seen her very briefly, and once or twice. It's not enough time to get a feel for a person.
Bramble chimes in like, I do interject, but one thing she did say quite often was the doom and gloom of this town.
That's true. If she doesn't know anything, she seems to be a bit pessimistic about her. Waterdeep's out.
Maybe she knows something we don't.
She's got a case of the Mondays.
For Sif's benefit, she iterated several times that as a student of history, that every notable culture or civilization ends in destruction. Like it always ends up falling into ruin, and she doesn't see why the current dominating cultures of the Sword Coast and Faerun wouldn't also fall foul of the same fate. And it usually happens around the same kind of time in its evolution.
I see.
So she
every
thinks,
empire falls.
Yeah, so she thinks that it's it's going to happen soon, like sooner rather than later. And so she every now and then, in between her bouts of elation and revelry with you guys at the table, she went into a bit of a gloom about the fact that everything's just going to fall into entropic ruin.
Okay, I'm gonna look for her bipolar medicine then.
Nice.
Okay, well then, Yeah, what do you think, gang? Should I try to sneak into her room and like rummage through her shit?
I mean, I don't want any part of this. I mean, I'm going on a date with her tomorrow. So.
Yeah, he might blow his chances.
Well, you might be able to find out more on your date.
That's true.
I
And
mean,
besides, come on, look at me. Yeah, a person of your caliber would not be seen dead with a dirty, smelly monk like myself. So, I think I'll be a safe bet to infiltrate.
don't let the finery fool you. I'd much rather spend my time with you guys, my friends.
Ah,
That's
Do
nice.
you not think back to all the time we were just shoveling shit? I suppose that's more of an Ezra offense rather than yourself.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I vote we leave her.
I mean, yeah, I vote we leave her too.
Let Bog get you know.
Okay, what does everyone else think?
He can pump her for
And I look
information.
I suppose I look to everyone at the table.
Yeah, I like that.
I think the chances of her keeping something useful on her are pretty slim,
Do you think?
but we've got pretty good magics. We can probably pull it.
Yeah, I could
mean,
steal some gold as well.
you're good at. Are you good at what you do, Sif? You might as well have a little root around.
Check you're not
Siv
lost
just looks
anything.
very confused at everyone. Can someone give me a somewhat straight answer as to what I should do?
Do it.
Do it.
Okay, all right. So we know where her room is, right?
Yeah. Well, I know where her room is, so my double will guide you.
I mean, I want to get through the window rather than through the possibly locked door.
Good idea.
Before you go anywhere, may the cat's grace be with you. And I'll cast enhance ability. Yeah,
Alright.
advantage on dexterity saving throws, and also you don't take damage from falling 20 feet or that.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
you fall off.
Awesome. Advantage on dex savings.
That's the main one, which dex checks. So that includes stealth.
Nice. Just one or like
For
continue.
the next hour.
Excellent. All right. Okay. So so your double takes me out of the building and under the window, right?
Yeah. Aaron, you cool with that?
Sure. Excellent. Is the window open?
Like, so looking out from like
The street below.
the street. Well, her room would be in the courtyard of the establishment. So you'd have to like go around the alleyway, enter it through find a way to climb over the wall and doors of the courtyard and look up from the courtyard into that.
Okay, no worry. My character can scurry up vertical surfaces.
Yeah, so
Oh,
no
wow.
problem for you. You do that, and the window is not currently open. That corresponds to where Bramble has told you where on the building it's located. So the window is currently closed, but the curtain is open. Like they haven't been drawn. So Pascal neglected to do that. Wanted to give the gnome
Okay.
privacy, and so you can see into the room, which is like dimly lit by the moonlight shining through the glass, and you can see like a small figure on the large, like, is it a divan bed where it's like
Got the
four posts? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Ooh,
you can see
very
them huddled-
fancy.
You can see them huddled under the blanket, like still and apparently asleep.
All right. Okay. Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try the window.
Okay. So it's closed with a latch, but it's very loose in its frame. So there's like a finger's width of wiggle room beneath the edge of the window, it's like a sash window, so it's on like a rope pulley system built into the frame, and the latch is at the bottom, but it's all very loose. Like there's probably like the screws haven't been tightened recently, so you can get like a couple of fingers underneath it.
Okay. Could I use sleight of hand to see if I could unlatch it with my one magical fingers?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
With advantage.
Yep. 21.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yeah, on one of your longer like fingers nails, you managed to get that like on the edge.
I opened it with my coke nail.
Yeah, and just like flick it, and it flicks.
Nice.
Because it's loose, it flicks open, and allowing you to be able to just pull the window all the way up quietly. It's like well oiled and smooth, doesn't stick in its frame. It's just like. So what do you want to do now that you've managed to create this?
Okay, well, I slowly lean inside the room just to get a view of what's there.
Okay.
And maybe look for any, any traps, anything like that.
Okay.
And just the general layout of where I can find useful documents, because I want to get in and out as quickly as possible.
Okay, so do a perception check for me then, please.
Perception check. Right. 21.
21. Right.
I'm rolling well tonight. Watch me fuck up really badly next time.
Knock on wood.
You jinxed yourself, man.
If anything, you guys don't know me.
There is like a dressing table on the wall opposite to the wall where the bed is. The bed is on your right, and the dresser is on the left, with like what you would expect, that like a mirror, various like vaporizers full of scented liquids, hairbrush. But there is also like
this one.
There is also. Yeah, not like that. There is also a what did they used to keep things in back in the day? There's like a leather pouch, yeah, which is tied with like a knot of rope wrapped around like an overlapping flap, which looks like it could contain like quite a lot of vellum sort of documents. Just from a cursory example.
Okay, sure. So I'm going to slowly lower myself into the room and go for the pouch with the because that looks like the most promising thing.
Okay. So I guess you should do a stealth check for me, please.
Okay, moment of truth. Bad.
Worse.
15.
That's still enough. Okay, so yeah, lowering yourself onto the soft and quite deep carpet, there's like rugs from wall to wall covering the boards, and they're deep, so it softens a lot of the noise that you would make on otherwise hardwood floors. And you skulk across to the dresser, and you can now like pick up the leather sort of pouch, if you wish to.
Okay. So I lift it up, and is someone under the window with me? It is
I don't know. Is
Sorry, Haz. What's your character's name again?
Bramble, but that's a double.
Is Bramble's double? Can he touch corporeal things?
It doesn't say anything about it in the spell, but I don't know. I don't think so.
I would assume not. Then I would assume that it's just a visual illusion. Not.
You're the shadow clone, basically. Yeah. It's just gonna pop. If you touch something.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna, as quietly as I can, slowly, fairly quickly. Although she's drunk and asleep, so I'm slowly kind of looking through all the parchments and all the vellum she's got. Does anything catch my eye?
Well, I mean, are you looking for any kind of specific information? Tell me what you might be looking for.
Fuck. Okay, someone remind me what we're looking for.
So I guess you'd be looking for any information on who the other,
Co-conspirators are?
yeah,
Like
the
letters or anything like that.
Patrons.
They would be the best.
or anything,
Or journal, or something like that.
or anything like anything about her organization or this network, or like the
Okay, so I'm looking for people, places, times, meeting places, any like co-conspirators, any kind of leads that we could take from her to like expand on this, because right now she's really the only operative that we know, right?
Yes.
So the documents inside consist mainly of, it's like a ledger listing all of the artifacts that are part of the exhibition that she's taken on tour around the city, and where the artifacts are being exhibited and on what dates. But also there is a list of patrons that have funded this tour and are also obviously paying for her to give them private access to these objects on display, these ornaments, and three of these are one is Olan Devor,
Okay.
Dyron Cassalanter, and Bron Borum. And
Bron Borum. Sure.
Can you just... How well travelled is Sif? Have you ever been to this part of the city before? I don't think you have.
Sif has literally, before joining this group,
Yeah.
Sif has spent all of his life, well,
in a monastery or something. What was it?
yeah, all of his life plus all of his life, and then minus a month or so before meeting the group in a monastery. So he is
a babe in the woods.
he is still discovering this world, so he will not have any clue about any of those names meaning anything to anyone.
But they are listed as her primary patrons. There are some other names, but they're not. She's written these in bold and quite broad text, emphasising them, and the amounts that they have paid are also bold and maybe underlined as being, out of the list of like 10 or so various names of importance in regards to this exhibition. Those three are prominently marked out.
Okay. By the way, I hope someone else has also written this down, just in case.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Right. So I think this is all I can get out of the parchments. Unless there is anything else.
I mean, there's a list of storage locations for where these things were being transported to and from, how long they stayed there, how long it cost. It's basically like a list of expenses, so it's not interesting to you, I would presume. But
well, I mean, I'm going to take stock of the list of places where the artifacts are. Is it a list of places where the artifacts are going to be stored at a later date as well?
Both, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to take stock of both places that they have been at and places where they will be, just because those could be interesting locations for us to visit.
Yeah.
And I guess I replace all the parchment back into the bag, and I take one more look around the room.
Okay. So
I will quickly I will quickly go through drawers as well, just to see if there's any more interesting information.
Do an investigation check.
Okay. $10.
Okay.
You find underwear.
Nothing except what you would expect to see in a travelling aristocrats or whatever's quarters and changes of undergarments and outerwear.
Nothing of import.
No, nothing of real value or importance here. No jewelry either, if that's what you were looking for. No cash.
No. I want to not be found out to be here, so I would not steal anything.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing particularly interesting either.
Very well. I mean, okay. In that case, I take a quick peek under her bed and then leave.
Okay. Do another investigation check for me then, please.
All right. 13.
13. You don't see anything under the bed other than her shoes, which she has taken off before climbing under the covers drunk. And they're just cast off. They're not like neatly positioned. They're just like she just flung them off. But you do. What did you roll? A 15.
13. 1-3.
You see a dark substance dripping from the side of the bed onto the rug underneath it.
Can I take a closer look?
Okay.
That's not blood, is it?
Do another investigation.
14.
It looks and smells very much like blood.
Where is this?
Dripping off from the side of the bed.
Oh fuck, man! She's been killed.
Okay, I'm going to very lightly move the covers to make sure I don't wake her up, but just to have a look.
Okay, so as you lift the covers up, the figure that you see huddled on the covers is not the gnome. It's actually like what looks like some form of ooze in the shape of a humanoid figure.
Fucking oozes are back.
Like huddled up
Not
on the
the
covers,
oozes again.
but asleep, like even making snoring sounds. Like...
Okay, all right. I immediately replace the cover and leave the room.
Okay.
Maybe.
Nope.
You just turn around and there's just like she's just standing there looking at you. Like,
Yeah, I mean, should I take a little sample of this?
I just gotta go.
I just get out of there.
This is one of the worst Tinder dates I've ever had.
Or the best.
It's been real nice.
I am not into Japanese tentacle porn. Thank you very much. I leave the room. I make sure to close the window behind me, though.
Okay, yep, you can do all of that.
And then I return to our friends who are still, I hope, at the same place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So first thing I do is I relay the information I learned about the names and the locations, and I'm sure someone writes that down. And then, so our friend, our target doesn't. I don't think she's what she appears to be in public. She seems to be made completely out of gelatin.
Gelatin.
Absolutely haram.
And and now Bramble can't touch her.
Pudding.
Can't eat her, I'm a vegan.
I think she's some kind of a changeling or a mimic or something.
Does she
Because
look like the oozes we saw in the tower?
Aaron.
I mean, I give you the best description I can, which is like it's an oozing substance that's kind of dripping blood all over the place.
Aside from the fact that she's
Dripping blood.
apparently composed of some gelatinous, like ooze-like substance, as far as Sif could tell, didn't bear any resemblance to the Soth, which were the creatures that were in the Colossus.
And it didn't look like the people you ran into when you were in Daggerford?
Sif wasn't there, so
I wasn't there. That was apparently some belligerent drunk dwarf that you used to put up with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shall I go?
Or was it the murderous one? I can never tell.
Shall I
What the
Too many
mask?
dwarves in that group.
No.
like a booty call? she is an oozy devil creature, I just disintegrate her. I mean, I know I'm not supposed to anymore, but
I think.
Just-
I wish you best of luck at your date with her tomorrow, or whatever that is. I hope you don't disappoint us.
okay, cool.
And,
yeah, I won't ring her. It's too soon.
Now we know this information. We have the upper hand.
You've got to wait 2 days.
Yeah, just don't give it. Just
Yeah,
don't,
ghost her. That's
Yeah.
what I'm going to ghost her.
just don't go in for a kiss.
Leave her on read.
Okay, great advice, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll extract info from her, and then we'll do what we usually do, which is probably murder her.
Oh, God.
I'm afraid.
Are we just
developed
accepting
feelings
our
for
fate
this one.
now?
Well, I'm sure something will go wrong.
So, are we assuming Bron will probably be back in the room, and he would have taken the place of his new illusionary double, so he's just back to normal.
That thing was creeping me out.
I apologize, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good spell. You should learn it sometime.
How do we know you're the real one?
Good question. And I just do a little punch on his shoulder. It was only a little punch.
That hurt.
He's only made of
Is
straw.
there anything we can do, or I guess you can do when you see her tomorrow that could force her to reveal her true identity if that was her?
Actually, I think I do have something like that.
It's
Hang on,
not
let me-
disintegrate, is it?
Let me look through my spell book. You talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
And Sif, did you say it was blood?
It's well, I mean, to the best of my my understanding, it looked like blood. You
It
know,
smelled like blood.
viscous iron smelling fluid, crimson red.
Hang on a minute. How's she going to explain that to the maid?
Good question.
I know you're a very different species, but you see
What is the maid?
and I kind of desperately look to Kayla. Explain this to him, please.
She's a demon.
Are the staff all jelly people? Is there a member of staff in this room?
No, but you could probably.
Maybe they're all jelly people.
I open the door to this
It's a curtain.
curtain. I look around.
So there's also, several of the staff members that you've met previously whilst here are busying themselves, like serving some of the other patrons and working behind the bar.
Excuse me.
So one of them's like, "Oh yeah, what is it? What does it need? You need more drinks? We can bring more
Come
drinks in."
here, you.
Okay. He puts what he's carrying down and comes over. He's like, "Yeah, how can I help?"
How do you feel about jelly?
It's all right. I don't like it in pies. You know when you get that stuff that's around the meat in between the pastry. That really, it turns my stomach. That does. I usually pick that off. But but yeah.
You know what? Me too.
Yeah, jelly's all right.
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah,
Can
sure.
you just open your mouth? Okay.
Yeah. Is that it? That's
Yeah.
very odd. Why did you want to know that?
No, it's just something that came up. Bye.
Well, okay. Would you like me to bring another carafe of wine or ale out to you at all?
Sure.
Okay.
If you would
right.
please, I'm parched.
He goes behind the bar and starts pouring
So,
Yeah. He might feel
liquid
alright.
into a vessel. There you go. For you.
very cool.
That guy hates
So Bron was
aspic.
asking.
Say
So
again.
Bron was asking. Bron, in character, is just asking. So, are we assuming? What I'm assuming from all of this is she dead and she's been replaced? So her actual body is in that room somewhere, leading to the floor, or is that slime? Or
No, I don't think so. That room was fairly small, and there would be nowhere to hide a
Wouldn't know.
body. Hmm?
Yeah,
Stuff in a pillow.
No, it was a pretty small.
Wouldn't know.
I'll be honest with you. I looked into most of the I looked through the entire room because I was looking for more than documents, shall we say. No, I'm pretty sure it's the same person who fell into that bed, still being there, because it was still wearing the same clothes.
I'm not saying that she was killed after she, because I was behind the door, invisible. So I'm guessing I would have heard something at that point.
She's not dead.
I'm
That,
thinking
that-
maybe if she.
I mean,
if she was
that thing
killed,
is
possibly.
breathing, and it seems to be having a.
So where's the real Environmental?
I think that's the same person
You
being.
think? Okay.
It could be.
Oh,
Well, looks like Craig's got a question.
Guys, why did she move from this place, from the other place?
Do you think she was replaced in the other one?
Yeah, maybe we could go there and see if there's like a dead gnome.
yeah.
They cleaned the room, remember? I did ask the
Probably in the trash.
after we defeated
We
the
looked in the
serpent, we
trash.
asked.
And we looked in the basement. And we looked in the stables.
What if we smash through some walls?
I mean, I have a.
Someone's
spell
gonna
that
have to
could
call the
actually-
forensic unit.
Could actually reveal her.
Isn't that just Cray Cray's nose?
I was gonna
I do
use it
actually have
on,
a spell
on
for something like that,
Family.
actually.
Oh yeah.
Is it called the CSI spell?
Yeah, it's
call
called
this
the
nostril
CSI. It's called
gristle.
Horatio Kane, the spell.
It's called Moonbeam, and shape changes make they get revealed basically. It does damage to them, and they show their true form.
How much damage?
Might kill her if she's not. If she's ordered,
I-
I mean, it's like the witch trials. If she dies in a radiant blaze of glory, she was honest and good, and she can have a Christian wedding, a funeral.
Sounds terrible.
But
I think it's
And
best
Sean
if Grog
Tears,
just
you
went on a
know.
date.
Jauntian. She can have a Jauntian.
She had a wedding.
if she's a scary ooze, she takes damage and we kill her. Maybe she's a nice ooze. I could get with it.
How about we find some of those important donors that she's underlined on her list and see
Yeah.
what they know.
Oh my god, what if she's replacing them too?
Well, you can't know that, but I think we should know pretty well if this was the case if we find that they've also been replaced.
Yeah, we should ask around about those. I agree with Sif here.
I think we should definitely ask around and see if anyone perhaps someone from a dung sweepers guild knows a thing or two about, like,
Well, Cole,
you know.
Cole is here with you, isn't he? Still. So.
Oh yeah, there
Hello?
it is.
Well, he's just been sitting
Cole.
back and drinking in his.
Hello, Cole.
Like what? Oh, well, is it something that I can contribute towards this? What did you eat?
See any live ooze walking around this past couple of weeks?
No. And honestly, if there was like an ooze like just strolling or rolling through Waterdeep, I'm pretty sure that the Watch would have something to say about that, as well as like the Lawful
look
Order
like
of
people.
Magisters and all sorts of other like do-gooder types that are always sticking their nose into Waterdeep business. So, I mean,
Insightful. Do you fancy another pint?
it's something that would really stand out to most people. You know, he's got his hand raised for some reason.
They disguise
He's
themselves.
special.
Oh right. Well, if they're in disguise, how are any of us to know that they're really like an ooze jelly person?
Let's build some elaborate plot that involves a blood test and a blowtorch.
I cast Moonbeam on them.
Is it cold enough though?
It will be.
I mean, look, aside from some of my underworld connections and transactions, I am exactly as what I appear. I shovel shit for a living. Now that shit could be both, you know, literal and figurative, because some of the shit that I shovel is also information, you know. But I'm not the man to talk to about vast conspiracy theories to do with people imposing other people or impersonating whatever. I'm also quite drunk, so I may pass out any minute.
Could before you,
Bramble, what do you think?
um,
Ezra,
there's
do you know anyone in your fair city that might be able to tell us more?
Well, I mean, aren't you guys like friendly with Mert? Like, I mean,
Let's go and see Mert right now.
Maybe not right now.
What time is it?
Past midnight.
Wouldn't it? We've been
yeah.
drinking.
I look at the sky. Oh, it's that time.
The dark times.
Let's get first thing. Let's go see Mert.
Well, first thing, look, you've got 2 more days with us. You've committed to that.
Oh my god.
You've got to finish
I don't.
protecting us on our route.
You don't understand the gravity of the.
Can you take
I
it
agree
out?
with the man. I'm rather fond of shoveling
Look,
shit myself.
You sent Jasper with that message
We did.
for Mert, so he knows as much as he's gonna know up
Wait,
to
not
this
about
point.
the- Can we send you with a message to Mert?
No, I've got a job to
He's
do.
pissed. Look
I've
at
got
him.
to do my
He's
job.
pointing at you and you're over there.
If I don't turn up tomorrow with the cart to pick the rest of the sweepers up to clean the streets will be rife with shit, and the others won't be able to do their job. They rely on me. I'm the foreman. It's a very privileged and important responsibility. The shit must be shoveled.
The shit must flow.
The shit must flow.
The shit
Yeah, I
must
like that.
flow.
That implies that we're just going to leave it, and it's just going to, like, a torrent of it is just going to pour through the city
It just keeps coming.
and completely cover everything and drown
The shit
everybody.
must
And we can't
flow.
have that.
Can we track Ooze Lady?
Well, we could.
How do you
try
trap
her
it,
if we had scrying.
Because you're supposed to go on a date with her. Grog can come, you do the date, you give us feedback about your date, and then we'll
Yeah, I may or may
Okay.
not cast Moonbeam on her.
hold the moonbeam.
I kind of want to do.
No, that's that impulse you
Bro,
keep getting.
remember,
Don't do that.
she doesn't know that we know. Keep
She
that
doesn't
in
know
mind,
that
bro.
we know she
Oh.
knows.
What?
Exactly. So let's try to keep this information between us, and not cause a scene like last time.
Yeah, the results in murder.
Yeah, I don't like
And
when you
prison
say that
time?
word.
Murder.
Let's. What Bramble is trying to say is let's not do what Misfits have done every single time.
That's all we know how to do.
That's all we know.
But shaking is all I know.
Should we go to sleep?
So Cole's
Yeah.
like, it's getting on now. We've got an early start tomorrow. Let's go back to our respective places of rest, and then clearer heads will prevail in the morning when they're not full of alcohol.
Good point.
If you say so.
Excuse me, barman, we'll take them to go.
So as he comes in with these 2 like jugs
Yeah.
of wine, and he's like, "Oh,
Thanks.
Wrap them up for us.
Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, sure. Glad to be of service.
You want the jugs back tomorrow?
No, you keep them. I'll just say I broke them or something. Say you have to come back and deal with the proprietor again. But yeah, as I say, you're all welcome to come back anytime. Thanks for giving us a reprieve from that prick for an evening, and just maybe come back when he's not here, or help us shove him
Anytime.
back in the storeroom again somehow. I mean, that would be great. To be
Anytime.
honest, this is the most pleasant evening of work I've had since starting here.
Yeah.
So you have all of our gratitude, and all the various members of staff that were in earshot are just like, yeah, we agree.
Why don't you
Thank
just
you.
run him out of town?
Well, that's not how things are done. He's
Oh, okay.
he's lawfully acquired this place to run as a business, and he's the owner, and it's just the way things are. I mean, unless we can catch him out doing something unsavoury that would warrant that kind of treatment.
Well, he's currently
That's-
sitting naked.
I think we have bigger fish to fry right now.
That sounds like a job for our mystery
For the adult
organization.
detectives.
And the adult detectives, as we're now known.
And
Shaggy.
then go to our spin-off.
You're a stoner.
They had an adult detective agency.
Pass me the joint, Shaggy.
I mean, if you just throw a chicken in his lap right now, it looks pretty weird. He's
It's
totally naked.
I think we've done enough. Enough to avoid blame. That's the key thing. So none of us could be held responsible for it. That was a big dice roll. What was that for?
I was building a tower and it fell.
He's like, well, anyway, thank you, and see you again sometime. And the rest of the staff like wave and wish you a good evening. And Cole is like, right, who's driving?
Oh, I'll drive.
Okay, here you go. And he hands you the reins
The keys to the horse.
to the horses of
Oh,
the car.
fuck.
And he's like, right, let me know when we're back at
Mosh.
what is the name of their? I forgot the name of their
Municipal Tavern?
Mill School. Yeah, when we're back at Mill School, and he's like,
Sure,
just
I know
like
the way.
dozes. So you're in the driver's seat, Cray.
Mosh.
Do an animal handling check.
Oh shit.
With disadvantage.
Are you drunk? Disadvantage. Do a Constitution saving throw to see how drunk you are
Oh,
first before you do
okay.
anything.
What's that?
6.
What is it?
6.
6 plus 7.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pretty drunk.
Right.
So you're gonna have to roll with disadvantage. So
It's 4 lefts, right?
do an animal handling check.
16.
Disadvantage.
Oh shit. 6. I just rolled the same thing twice.
Okay, you're okay. You're fine. So despite your
fucking
eyes
weird.
moving in wildly different directions more rapidly than usual with Cray.
One of his eyes is just like
Yeah,
flickeringly blinking,
you're
and the other
feeling-
one's just staring
It's like
dead
a
forward.
constant weaving like journey that's making the rest of you all feel a bit sick because it's like you're being rolled
Hey,
around.
Gray, what's wrong with your what's wrong with your eyes?
So each of you do a
I
Constitution
hate
saving
this.
for me, please.
I cast Lesser Restoration myself and remove my.
Inebriation.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you're going over the limit.
So con save for everyone except Robert.
Don't drink and drive.
Boggart rather.
Rama got 19.
What the fuck?
19. You're all right.
11 for Ezra.
You're okay. Kayla, what did you get?
One sec.
I'm not using that dice ever again.
I got 19.
You're okay. Ezra.
11.
Oh.
You're dead.
Ezra vomits.
Over the side.
Vomit
Over the side. In my lap.
Over the side, but it all dribbles down his like top, his nice top.
Oh.
Oh,
It's alright,
Do a dex save.
he's
to see
fallen
if
from
you
grace.
Can,
I like how Ezra started the journey with us as this like beautiful radiant. Now he's like
Look at me now.
Bald
all
and covered in
sweated and with vomit
What's
on the
gone wrong
head.
for me?
I used to be
respectable. Dex
We
saving throw,
broke
Ezra.
we broke a
Seriously.
good boy.
Dex saving throw.
See if you can aim the vomit away.
Oh man. Speaking of.
16.
Oh, you're all right. Yeah, there's enough open space.
Doesn't
here
cover
to
my
just
clothes too bad.
and hurl over the side without splashing any upon your best clothes. So you make it to Mule School Tavern, drive the carriage into the rear sort of court where they stable their horses and store the cart. And Cole gets out. He's like, "Good driving, great evening. See you bright and early in the morrow for some more shit shoveling." And he's like, "Right, night." And he goes inside, closes the door, and that's the last you see of him for the evening. So you guys are free to make your own way back to the bowels of the earth,
I don't think I should drive.
unless you want. To stay
You're doing bad. Then I was.
I blacked out.
Well, the cart is his, so you.
The
don't
thing
have
is,
the
I'm
cart.
drunk in real life too.
Oh man, we're walking.
Woohoo.
This isn't even my car.
So I mean, you could stay at Mule School if you want to, or you can walk back across the trades ward to the bowels of the earth.
Does anyone need to go home?
I like my bed.
Well, you're all in your best clothes, those of you that attended the...
Oh, we should make a way.
And I need to change into my shit shoveling clothes.
Yep, can we have that?
Let's do
Okay.
it then.
So, in the interest of time, you make your way back to the bowels of the earth, go to bed, etc. Wake up in the morning to a loud knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, my head.
I feel great.
How?
Magic.
Give me some of your happiness right now.
So
I'll go and open the door.
That's Jasper is like, morning!
Oh my god.
He's like, I delivered that!
Not
I
today.
delivered that note for
Not
you
today,
to the grumpy barman, Dernan.
I put my
And
hand over his face.
what's going on?
Oh!
Shush, shush, shush.
Oh, right, okay. Wait, I delivered that note to the barman, Dernan, and he said he would pass it on to Mert as soon as he saw him next at the Yornin portal. So, all done.
Good job, Jasper.
Yeah, are you ready to go work?
What time is it?
Okay.
It's early, like it has been for the last 8 days.
I think we're as ready as we're going to be all day.
Right then, we'll be in the cart waiting for you. And he's like, so see you in a bit then, yeah, right? And he look,
I'm not even drunk. I'm not even hungover and it hurts.
I don't know if it's him or
I'll
just his voice.
I'll look what we've got in the pantry and like try and make some food for people.
okay.
Like some bread and some.
There's probably like salted meat that's
Yeah.
preserved and
Some old
black bread.
An old slab of salted
Is
meat
there
left
is
in
there
the
any more
cabinet.
booze?
Oh, there's loads of booze at the bowels of the
accidentally
earth.
shave
Yeah.
a carrot.
Okay, so what
Hair of the
Sif
dog.
does is he goes hair of the dog and he just downs a jug of wine before we leave.
Okay.
Not a jug, sorry, I like a cup.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
Jug, that'd be impressive.
Just topping up.
No, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Okay. We'll do a con save again then for us.
Sorry, you cut out. What did you say?
Did I cut out?
Constitution.
Is my mic been cutting out?
No, just this once. I think it's because I'm on an unreliable connection here.
Okay. Just do another Constitution saving throw for me, please. Now that you've
Okay.
you've topped up.
I think sometimes when two people are talking as well, like they can cancel each other
Overlap.
out
Yeah.
rather than anyone specifically cutting out. But it's probably just through Discord.
Yeah,
What do you get?
it's just the limitations of Discord. But anyway, I got a 19.
Oh, you're all right. You're fine. In fact, it makes you feel like
The hair of
superb.
the dog.
Top of the morning, yeah. You
Oh yeah, being a monk and drinking go hand to hand, hand in
Yeah.
hand.
Drunken monk.
You've had a Zemnian breakfast. There you go.
Can I go outside and find that water barrel and throw water over myself again?
Yes, you can.
Ah.
So you douse yourself, and it's refreshing and tingly, and you feel, ready for the day ahead.
Let's do it.
Is anybody else doing any ablutions or having a tipple or?
No,
No.
don my equipment.
Okay, so you all pile into the cart. The gun sweepers greet you. Good morning. They're all present. Faith, Jasper, Camlin, and Cole. Cole looks a bit worse for wear. Like he's got like it's like his features have partially melted. Like he's just like
Good luck.
morning.
I'll make sure I've made a bit of bread and meat.
Morning.
He's like oh
Offer it to him.
thank you.
Oh, before we leave, do you want a cup of wine?
He's like oh this bread's dry. Is this even bread?
I don't know.
It's a rock.
It's like it looks like.
Did you pick that up from the back of the cars? Have you been working already?
Might be wood.
He's like, well, thank you. I've had enough. Here, you finish it off, and he hands it back to you.
I cast lesser restoration.
Before we leave, do you want some wine? There's plenty in the back.
Suddenly
I
he's
just had a cup and I feel great.
Do you do it obviously, or do you do it?
Yeah, I lay my hand on him.
He's
Say,
like,
You'll be alright.
thanks. I feel loads better now. Oh, that's.
Oh.
Well, I guess that is the benefit of magic use, is it? You can do things like that for yourself.
Yeah, you'll have the shits for the next 3 weeks, but
Oh, it's worth it. I always have the shits anyway, so yeah.
violent violent, terrible night shits. You
Oh,
you
well.
can't predict when they're gonna happen.
Well, that's not so good. But if you can just keep casting that on me throughout the duration of my
Any more
suffering.
castings and you'll die.
What? Wait,
Well, I
what?
guess there's always a fucking price to pay, isn't
Yeah,
there?
magic has a price, material cost, and it was your ability to shit normally and live.
Well, you lifted that straight from The Witcher. That's not in the D&D universe.
Now it's canon.
You're telling me that
The
Sarkovsky
Witcher?
did not base most of what he wrote on these D&D campaigns that he played as a teenager? I seriously...
Never.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah,
I
yeah.
resent that accusation.
Okay, so off you go. So who wants to do the honours of rolling
Pat
the dice
should.
to see where... Yeah, Sif, you roll 3d6 for us, please.
All right.
Let's see where we end up today.
It's funny because 3D is all I do all day.
We're on day 9 as well.
Heh heh heh.
That's right. I got 6, 11.
11.
Like in that TV show, what you'd like.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Mule School 7 morning.
We've gone all the way to Musical Tavern and sleeping.
Okay, so skip them. Go by to the next...
Gondolins?
No,
Oh, Gondolins.
It's Monastery of the Sun. Okay, Monastery of the Sun.
Oh, sorry, yeah, it's in on there.
So you're familiar with this place because you have been here before on one of the earlier days of work with the dung sweepers.
I'm wearing a helmet.
Oh, no, yeah.
Right. Let me just get it up on the map. Give me some idea. Here we go.
People
Right. So, so previously this is where you met the abbot and some of the other monks that reside within the, and you had like you had a discourse about theology and the different belief systems, if you remember. Anyway, so you see Abbot Hanor has organised some form of choir, like in musical performance. And he's assembled a group of singers and musicians who stand outside the monastery performing an ode to Amornator, and they sound terrible. So it's all like, Amornator is golden temple.
Ah, it's like being at the monastery of Ilmater again. But I gotta tell you, those guys are way better. Keep going, son. Keep going, brother.
So,
Oh, yeah.
The people passing by are like, oh, God, shut up. It's fucking terrible. At least learn to sing in tune if you're going to berate us with this religious nonsense. And someone even throws like some fruit, and they're like, they're like, oh, no, and they just keep singing. Abbot Hannah's like, come on, keep it up, we may yet convert somebody. And he's desperately trying to orchestrate this shambolic bunch of...
Ezra, you're a bard. Sing along.
I don't really do that much singing, to be honest with you.
Quickly cast enhance ability. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So Cole is like, just put some cheese in your ears. Well, that's what we do whenever they get up to this.
Cheese?
You know,
Cheese is expensive.
yeah, but this is hard cheese. It's no good. Like this is what we save it up for this, just so we can stick it in our ears and don't have to listen to that rabble. And all the other dung sweepers are like pointing at their ears, and you can see there's like a big clot of cheese in each of their holes, like as they're like sweeping up outside on the street. And a passerby says, "Well, somebody just tell them to shut up. Call the watch. This is outrageous. Subjecting us to this awful noise. I've heard cats mating that sounded more pleasant than this." And you know,
My God.
nobody's happy in this area. These people are just bellowing out of tune with religious fervour.
What's the name of this wonderful assembly? It's not something like Godflesh.
No way. These are nowhere near as tuneful as Godflesh.
Oh, that's saying a lot.
They worship
Amornator, yeah.
Amornator.
Amornator.
Can I cast minor illusion
Hmm.
and I want to create a sound, and I want to create a whisper that they can all hear.
Okay.
How about you create the brown note?
That would be appropriate for this scenario.
That would be appropriate for this
I
scenario.
was
I
gonna
like
like
that
create-
idea, and it's happening.
Great. I've read about this this sound.
Yeah.
That makes you defecate yourself.
Quickly, put some
on.
cheese in your ears.
It's a low rumbling. It works on most people. I reckon I can make them shit themselves.
Okay. Do we have to get about it?
Okay, then.
Probably. But...
Oh, okay. I guess it's usual.
So,
Is that direction
what
that-
spell is this? When did you learn this spell?
It's just minor illusion, but it's just
Yeah,
like
minor
create a
illusion.
sound or an image of and.
Okay.
You make
So
the brown note.
you don't have to do any kind of roll for this, do you? It's just instantaneous.
It's a cantrip.
Cantrip, yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine everyone
Um,
maybe needs to roll against that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do a group roll.
Oh god.
So this will be for everybody in the
I'm
area.
furiously shoving cheese in my ears.
Oh God! It works on us too.
Works on everyone.
Okay, so
What's the radio?
they all fail to resist this sound as it's suddenly this like subsonic, unpleasant hum, like.
They're all like, no.
We have. Oh wow.
Everybody in that group simultaneously evacuates their bowels at the same time, and you see like robes billow with the force, like, and suddenly this just like dollops of dung
I mean,
are
we are
tumbling
here to
out from
shovel
beneath
the
their
shit.
robes onto the cobblestones below.
man.
We're just making more work for ourselves.
Even Abbot Hanor is like,
What have we done?
and you just see like
You
a
can
torrent
clean this
of very loose like feces tumble out of from below his
Aw.
robes, and he's like, quickly, everybody, inside, oh, come on! And they all just rush back into the monastery, just leaving a brown wake in their aftermath. And Cole's like, he's like, well fucking done. He's like, now we've got to clean all that shit up. We're supposed to be cleaning up the shit, not making more of it.
Everyone hated this.
This is so funny.
So some of the people in the
It was
area are
worth it.
like, I think it was worth it. I think it was worth it. Well done. Thank you for that. Thank
Done
you.
much?
I think a little bit more dung on the streets is a fair price to pay to end that fucking racket. And he's like, well done, here. And he throws some coins at you. Like he's like, thank you.
You're welcome.
Fucking idiot.
Honest days.
Fucking
man.
loving them.
Ah,
Some
oh my
other
god,
people
that was so
like, stop
funny. It
joining
made
him
my
in, like,
head hurt.
We agree. Here. They expected us to tip them for that, so you can have what they expected because you've earned it.
Thank you.
And you're getting pelted with copper coins, like.
Oh.
Shit, give them to Cole.
So Cole's like, yeah, thank you. I'll take that as a tip.
Yeah,
He's
well,
like, and him and the others set to like cleaning up the
I'll help out.
the crap.
I'll get one of them.
Is
Yeah,
there-
I mean, I
suppose
hope
any one
those
of you've
anyway.
got some magic that you can make this disappear with, have you?
I've got
I
fire.
can cast press.
I could bet
Yeah, you
it.
can cross prestidigitation.
Cloud.
Don't make it worse. Don't make it worse. Don't make it worse.
Yeah, I can cast
No,
prestidigitation on it.
Hey, there you
Yeah, Brom will also cast prestidigitation.
Okay, so between the two of you, you manage
Are we
to
just revealing to now that
scour
we
the
have a
muck
spell
off
that
the,
could literally just
off
do
the
their job for them?
cobblestones.
Oh yeah, we've always had this spell.
Oh my god.
1 cubic foot of shit is just instantly clean. My job here is done.
Wow.
You can cast it multiple times. You can have up to 3 of its non-instantaneous effects activated.
So yeah, like sparing the dung sweepers having to put their backs into scrubbing this off the cobblestones. He's like, oh, well, thank you for that at least. You are incredibly useful. Could you not have done that for every single piece of feces that we've had to sweep up for the last 8 days?
We are your entourage.
Listen, have you ever heard of being automated out of a job?
No, but now that you've said that, I'm going to shut my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could have done that, but it wouldn't be as funny.
So you, Boggett, you earn yourself a point for to make a note of that. For that solution, which is way more creative than the one suggested in the adventure. So, but also,
I think we may have
far more disgusting.
I think we may have taken liberties with the spell minor illusion.
I apologise to Wizards of the Coast and Paul Metzger, the author of DUNG WORK. We have soiled it beyond redemption.
And this is exactly what D&D is all about.
Okay, someone else roll to see where you go next, then, please. Who wants to turn this?
3d6, right?
Yeah. Let Brian do.
11.
Oh, 11 again.
Oh, nice.
So Brindle Alley again.
Yeah.
So you break for lunch at Felzoon's Folly, and who's covering the bill this time? It's 12 silver pieces.
I'll do it.
So Cray, dock yourself 12 silver pieces, and the Dung Sweepers thank you for covering the cost. And while you're eating, Felzoon, the bristly bearded dwarf, who you moved the owlbear armchair from his storage to the unicorn's horn, because everybody's like, thank you very much for those tables and chairs that you manufactured. They are incredible bit of but surprisingly simple bit of engineering, and as a dwarf I can tell you that I have an eye for these things, and well done, thank you for your generosity.
I'm good in my hands.
Also to all for moving that great lump and bloody object from my premises. I was glad to be rid of it, and I'm hoping that it's causing some mischief for the proprietor of the Unicorn's Horn. I heard that he fell victim to its comforts, which pleases me to no end. So as a gesture of further gratitude, I would like to offer you all a free dessert. So please, on the house, pick anything you'd like from the menu and have at it. And he walks away, so you guys get a free dessert.
I hope there's nothing with jelly.
Real quick, Bromwell was going to quickly ask before he walks away. He's a well-travelled man, isn't he?
Felzoon, yeah, to some degree, yeah.
I was going to ask him about those names that Sif found, if he knows or has heard of them in Waterdeep.
Okay. He's like, oh, yes. They are quite well-known families of the city that inhabit the Castle Ward. Is it? Am I misremembering? Castle Ward is the posh part of Waterdeep, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
That sounds the poshest.
Let's just have a look. Or is it Sea Ward?
Sea Ward's all the dock stuff, isn't it?
Sea Ward, Castle Ward. Anyway, I'm just going to make that assumption until I learn otherwise, because I can't remember at the minute. So he's like, yes, the Devores are an old family here, roots going back as far as one can trace, really, and the Castellantes are also quite a well-established name amongst the city's aristocratic classes, but there are rumours of something hinky going on with them. We don't know quite what, but they've had some bad luck, and lots of unpleasant deaths in their family, and I believe there's something to do with losing some of their property or inheritance or something along those lines. I'm not sure. I don't like gossip, and I tend not to pay attention very much to that sort of thing, so I'm really probably only remembering half of it properly. So, but Borum is not a name that I'm familiar with. Maybe that's some nouveau riche kind of family. Maybe someone that's recently come from another affluent area and settled in Castleward. I'm not the man to ask really about a lot of that kind of thing. I don't attend many events where I would mix with those types of people.
We should speak to Matt.
So, Bramble, do you think with the lots of deaths, do you think some of them may have been replaced with
Possibly.
Yes, that could be a hint.
Has anyone
It's a
ever?
clue, dear Watson.
Has anyone ever disappeared and
Elementary,
reappeared?
my dear Watson.
Elementary indeed.
Watson, you speak up.
Is Felton
Cool.
still there?
I thank him, and I toss him a gold coin.
He's like, well,
Valley.
no, there's no need for that. It's information that came free. So you please take that back.
No.
This is too much, and I should really be paying you for the fine furnishings that you gifted to me for Craftmas. So no, I cannot accept this. I'm sorry. And for a dwarf to turn down gold, that's serious.
Yeah,
So
stop flexing.
he hands it
Bramble.
firmly back in your hand, and he's like,
Flex what? I'm made of straw.
but he shakes your hand, and he's like, now, please have a good day. I must get on with the business. And he goes back into the back of
Cool.
the restaurant.
Do we get cakes?
You get your cakes, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
delicious.
So the dung thing is like, as you're returning to your cart, they're like filling their faces with these confections, and Jasper's like, yeah, it's really good having you with us. Like we never used to get treated like as well as this by folks until you guys were our guardians. It's like this is a real perk. I think I've put on about £5 since with all the free stuff and whatnot we've been getting. And he's like,
Oh, you be careful. You get the diabetes.
ooh, what?
So I think we need to investigate those Borum people because they sound like they are new in the area.
Where are they?
Castlewood,
Castlewood?
apparently.
Yeah, they live in the area of Waterdeep that's reserved for the more affluent class of residents. So
Where
I mean,
are we in city? We're in South City of the Dead
you-
right now.
you're in the trades ward, yeah,
In
at the minute
trades.
in Felzoon's Folly,
Is that where that is?
and
Okay.
you're heading to Brindle Alley to do some cleanup work.
Okay.
Felzoon's is in the trades ward, yeah. Most of these areas that you're going with the dung sweeps, because this is their patch that they're
yeah.
responsible for.
Well, maybe we could go there after work.
So you go to Brindle Alley, which is where you have encountered those singing hands a number of
fucking
times,
hell.
but this time there's no sign of them, and the guys just clean what little detritus is there for them to take care of. So who wants to roll to see where you end up next, please? Someone else do something.
I can do it.
Yep, go on then.
Uh, 10.
10.
Hang on a sec. I'm on the wrong map.
Is it Monastery of the Sun again?
Monastery of the Sun again. Okay.
Well, back there.
I think it is, yeah. Alright.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I can
I
count.
think we've exhausted everything at the Monastery of the Sun. Yeah. So you finish your day's work. You get invited back to the Mill Skull again for some after work drinks, but it's up to you. You know, Cole's like, are you going to be joining us this evening, or have you had enough after the other night's celebrations.
Well, I've got my date, and
We've got some.
Got some
secret-
business.
secret
I remember now.
business.
I mean, I can only remember like bits and bobs of what happened last night. So yeah, that just reminded me of what little has been retained in my my ale addled noggin. So yeah, well, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early, and bushy-tailed, no doubt.
Hopefully.
Yeah, to Jasper and Faith, and like he's like, night, see you tomorrow. She's like, see you in the morning. Have you had a chance to make use of my my Craftmas gifts yet? Have you had a look at them, or
What did you get? What did you give us?
she gave you each
The,
a symbol like made of like the amalgamated sigils of various goodly aligned deities. So it's like some weird abstract like medallion of overlapped
It's like
and
all the deities in
merged
one.
deities. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just no, just out of interest. I just wanted to know if it worked for you. But if you've not had a chance to use them yet, it's fine. There's no pressure. I would be interested in any results. I always like to hear if Faith has been rewarded. No, not me, but broadly Faith.
You're not that broad.
Well, thank you for saying so.
We've not been attacked for a while, so maybe it is working. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. I think this is the first day we've ever not been attacked.
What if one of us wears all of them at once?
Well, Cole introduces like, well, day's not over yet, so I won't hold your breath.
Oh, thanks, Cole.
Yeah.
Anyway, cheerio.
Oh, no.
So they
Cheerio.
drop you off at the bars of the earth and trundle away. Should we call it there?
Yeah.
Because you guys have got to go, haven't you?
Sure.
So, and then we'll resume next time with the date with Unvira Umtrau.
That's-
Date with a jelly baby.
That's gonna kick off.
Oh yeah.
Are you a slimy ooze person?
Are you flexible?
You
Okay.
know what I really like?
Rocket
Oozy,
sitting in the tree.
sweet sex.
Oh God. Are we gonna have to put a warning on next episode?
Yeah.
Prepare yourself for some ooze.
Content warning.
Oozies.
Ooze intercourse.
Oh my.
Oh God.
I mean,
Okay. Is
Does
anyone?
that count as more like a flood? I don't want to think about it.
Yeah.
Stop there, Pat. Before
yeah.
it gets worse.
We banned.
Um,
Banned of Twitter.
Does anyone got anything they want to promote or shout about or anything? No? Anything happening that anyone wants to raise awareness about? I'll tell you what is cool. The DMs Guild has got a charity bundle to raise money for the Australian bushfire relief
That's
services.
good.
Ooh, that's good.
And I tell you what, there's some awesome stuff. You can choose from like 6 or 7 different bundles, and everything in them is excellent. So, and you're getting them at like super discount price. So, if nobody's aware of that existing out there, then go to DM's Guild and buy one of those bushfire charity bundles, because you're helping people, but you're also getting a lot of cool content for very little money. That's something cool for people to contribute to, because every little counts. So there you go.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Kobold Press have got a new Kickstarter for Tome of Beasts 2, which is like a new monster manual. So go and have a look for that if you're not already aware of that. My DM's Guild Adventures, The Fox and the Fae, and Craftmas with Gremlins is they're both available. So if you feel generous and want to support me and our endeavours, then please purchase them. It'd be greatly appreciated. And any promotion or reviews or anything that you might want to do for those would also be greatly appreciated. Anything else? Is that it? I'm missing anything that's been going on.
I'm afraid there's nothing interesting happening in Guildford this coming couple of weeks.
Oh, UK Games Expo is coming up soon. In the midst, that's not for a few months yet, though, is it?
Board games or
Oh.
just video games?
That was
Board
a
games.
board game one, wasn't it?
Board games, yeah. But tickets have gone on sale for that, so folks can start pre-ordering those. Anyway, so we'll be back next Wednesday, same time, 8ish, to resume where we left off here. Thank you to anybody that sat through us meandering through stuff and being
Making people
rude.
shit themselves.
Yeah, it was the highlight of the evening.
Yeah, we appreciate
Perhaps
it.
the brownout of the evening.
And that's it. I guess we'll sign off.
Made
Yeah.
shit happen again.
We definitely
We
made shit happen.
Mallory returns.
Okay, so bye bye. Be kind, be creative, play D&D. Cheerio.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye.